Hey guys, so I wanted to give you the latest conspiracy theory gossip. Um, so, yeah, I was listening to some things lately and I learned some things that I found very interesting. And I just thought, well, I should tell people this, because I haven't heard it and I've heard a lot of things. So, I, I think one of the more interesting things that I heard was this coincidence between two things that is just kind of shows you know what we're dealing with and um, how brazen they are these days, and people just don't seem to notice. So what I discovered. And I'll talk about where I heard this in a minute. But there is everybody knows Chrome. It's Google's search engine, not search engine, the browser Chrome. You know, everybody knows Chrome. Very popular, commonly used. If you haven't heard of Chrome, yeah. Anyway, so there's Google has Chrome, and then there turns out that IBM and Sony and Samsung and all these other companies all use this operating system for various technologies of theirs, and Google does as well, and Chrome uses this operating system, and this operating system is called, drumroll, Adreno. So they use the operating system Adreno in Chrome, and people still insist that those of us that talk about AdrenoChrome are crazy conspiracy theorists. Um, you know, they put these things out there in the open for all to see, and people still don't notice. Like I've said before, they're just laughing at us. And it just shows their arrogance. And they're right to have that arrogance because they've been doing it for so long and still the public has not noticed. I mean, they're obviously awful people, but it's a sad commentary on our society when they can be so brazen and nobody notices. I mean, it's pretty sad, honestly. And at this point, like I've said before as well, with everything going on in the world right now, at least on the most basic levels of conspiracy theory, about like the virus and things like that, if people haven't woken up to the fact that something's going on, it's not just a natural virus and a normal election and things like that, it's getting embarrassing for those people, honestly. Anyway, so AdrenoChrome, AdrenoChrome, Chrome runs on Adreno. Come on, people. As our favorite letter of the alphabet has said, that's the 17th letter if you don't know. If you missed that whole thing, look it up. It was kind of a big deal. As our favorite 17th letter of the alphabet has said, symbolism will be their downfall. Yes, it's amazing that so many people haven't noticed that all this is going on, but a lot of people have. More and more people are waking up all the time, and honestly, their days are numbered. Not the people who are waking up, but the Illuminati. So, anyway, so where I got this bit of this heads up was from a show called Dark to Light. if you are unfamiliar with it, you should start getting into it. I mean, if you have watched my videos so far and are on board with at least a good portion of it, then I think you'll be open to what these people talk about. It's not your normal political stuff. It's more metaphysical, and it's a deeper level of conspiracy theory. Anyway, so they have a show. They is um, they is two people, Laura Eisenhower and David Rodriguez. So Laura is the great-granddaughter of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, and she has a long history of talking about things that are related to astrology and energetic healing and extraterrestrials and all kinds of stuff like this. So David Rodriguez, he's newer on the scene. He is a retired boxer, but he has had something of an awakening, and he's basically devoted his life now to waking people up and trying to help humanity figure this whole thing out. So they have a show called Dark to Light, and a lot of it is on YouTube under Laura Eisenhower's YouTube channel. But there are some things that you cannot watch on YouTube unless you subscribe to them. And I would highly recommend doing that. No, they're not paying me to say anything. They don't know who I am. But lots of really good information there. It's not too expensive if you want to get there are different tiers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com and you can sign up for that. And the lowest tier gives you a lot of great stuff, and it's not expensive. So do it. That's what I say. Anyway, they were interviewing Charlie Ward, who is someone else you should be listening to. Very knowledgeable, And all these people, they're like all crazy conspiracy theorists. They're not going to get all the details right, but you're going to get a lot of good information that is correct. Most of it is going to be correct, and you'll be better off knowing a lot of correct information with a little incorrect information than not knowing any of it at all. So that's what I would say about that. Anyway, so Charlie Ward was talking to them about a lot of things, and he's the one who pointed out, I believe it was him, could have been David Rodriguez, but I'm pretty sure it was Charlie Ward, the Adreno-Chrome thing. And he said some other things that I found interesting. He mentioned that, growing up he didn't have speed limits, and of course some parts of the U.S. didn't have speed limits either in those days, and they've slowly introduced speed limits to different places at different times. But anyway, there were no speed limits, and obviously we all think that yes, speed limits are a good thing. They were made obviously to save lives, and that could be the case. However, he points out that he says that the Illuminati basically introduced speed limits as just one more way on this massive pile of socially programming us to be obedient, mindless people, slaves eventually, if we're not already. The sign said go this fast, so you have to go this fast. Before that, I don't think there were massive numbers of car wrecks. I think people were given the freedom to judge what was safe, and in that way, we practiced good judgment, and we had our freedom, our own sovereignty, But nowadays, we don't do that as much because they've slowly taken away all of these different ways that we could practice good judgment. Nowadays, as Charlie Ward pointed out, Some people won't even walk across the street when there's no traffic. They won't walk across a crosswalk when there's no traffic because the walk sign is not on. You know, now we have to wait for the little green man to tell us we can walk when there's literally no danger. I mean, you've got to admit there is something to the idea that this could be another form of social programming. You know, so I found that very interesting. Another thing Charlie Ward said was that Osama Bin Laden was a really good guy, which I found very fascinating. I've never thought about it. Obviously, general public believes he is a terrorist. But Charlie Ward said that he's met him and that he's a super nice guy. And then it sort of clicked in my mind because all the news outlets at the time of 9/11 were saying, this guy is public enemy number one. He's a terrorist. Hate his guts. Fear him. So that's what everybody did. However, what have we learned, especially in 2020? When the media says, think this, pretty much you want to probably think the opposite. And so Charlie Ward said that Osama bin Laden was opposed to the Illuminati. He was trying to, with others, bring down the Illuminati. I picked up, what I took from it is that he is, alliance, but who knows. Anyway, clearly they didn't like him, so they made him public enemy number one. They do it all the time. They pretty much did that with our previous president, and he was the president. So if you can't see what they can, if you see what they were able to do with the president, then with some guy from another country that nobody knows about, it's going to be pretty easy. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to go around preaching that Osama bin Laden was this wonderful person, but I would encourage people to be open to the idea that maybe he was. I haven't done much research on it, but yeah, I wanted to bring that to your attention. And I think that's all I have for you today. Thanks for stopping in. I will see you next time, and have fun.